Hey baseball fans, welcome back to Baseball Spark, your go-to channel for all things baseball. Today we're diving into the 2024 National League Championship Series. And let me tell you, it's going to be absolutely insane. We've got the Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the New York Mets, two powerhouses in their own right. Hollywood versus Queens. Shohei Ohtani versus the polar bear Pete Alonso. I mean, come on, it doesn't get any better than this. Buckle up, because we're breaking down everything from the must-watch matchups to the key moments, and of course, those juicy player stats. This is Baseball Spark, and you won't want to miss it.
Grand Slam Vientos!
So how did we get here? The Dodgers were the juggernaut of the NL West once again. Shocking, I know. What's wild, though, is the addition of Shohei Ohtani, the unicorn of baseball, who decided to bless Los Angeles with his talents in 2024. Even though he's not pitching due to that elbow injury, his presence in the lineup has transformed the Dodgers into something close to a real-life MLB dream team. The Mets, on the other hand, have been riding a crazy roller coaster of a season. They started shaky, and at one point, it seemed like Mets fans were gearing up for another year of disappointment. You know how they do. But something clicked in the second half, and they stormed into the postseason, taking down the Phillies and making it to the NLCS. Now, they're just 4 wins away from their first World Series appearance since 2015. This matchup is the epitome of East Coast versus West Coast. And yeah, I'm talking Biggie versus Tupac levels of rivalry. Dodgers Stadium's glam versus Citi Field's grit. Let's dive into the fans, because trust me, it's a whole experience. Dodgers fans, they roll into Chavez Ravine looking like they're heading to a celebrity pool party. Think sunglasses, flip-flops, and VIP vibes. These fans are used to winning, and you can almost feel that Hollywood confidence in the stands. Dodger Stadium is beautiful, with palm trees lining the outfield and perfect sunsets every night. It's like baseball, but make it luxury. Meanwhile, across the country in Queens, Mets fans are a whole different animal. These people have been through things, okay? Every Mets fan is born with an inherent distrust of success. They've seen too much heartbreak. But don't get it twisted. This fan base is loud, proud, and they will go hard for their team. Citi Field is electric in October, and the noise these fans make could probably be heard from Times Square to the Bronx. It's gritty, it's real, and it's pure baseball. But the best part? These cities both expect to win. LA feels like they're destined to be in the World Series, while New York is ready for another miracle run like 1986. You can bet emotions will be running high from the first pitch to the last out. Let's get into the stars of this show. First up, Shohei Ohtani, the man who's breaking every rule of baseball. While he won't be pitching in this series, he's still a massive problem at the plate. Ohtani smashed 54 home runs, drove in 130 RBIs, and oh, by the way, swiped 59 stolen bases this season. This guy's combination of power and speed is something we haven't seen since the video game days of Ken Griffey Jr. He's a nightmare for any pitcher, and Mets fans better pray he cools off, or else their chances could melt away as fast as a New York snowstorm. On the Mets side, we have Pete Alonso, the polar bear. The man is built like a tank and swings like he's trying to hit the ball into the Hudson River. He blasted 34 home runs and had 88 RBIs this season, and his postseason has been just as impressive. Alonso is the heart of this Mets lineup, and if there's one player who could single-handedly carry this team, it's him. For the Dodgers, you can't forget about Mookie Betts, the guy who does it all. Betts ended the year with 19 home runs, a .289 average, and 16 stolen bases. He's as reliable as they come, both at the plate and in the field, where he makes highlight reel plays on the regular. Whether it's on the base paths or gunning down runners from right field, Betts is a game changer. And then there's Francisco Lindor, the Mets star shortstop who put together a fantastic season. Lindor notched 33 home runs, drove in 91 runs, and added a staggering 7.0 WAR to his name. He's a leader on the field, and his defense is the kind of stuff that turns a game on its head. He could easily save a run or two with his glove, and every run is going to matter in this series. Now let's talk about the Dodgers pitching, and it's all about depth. With Jack Flaherty and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the Dodgers have two reliable arms ready to take on the Mets lineup. Flaherty finished the season with a 3.17 ERA after joining the Dodgers mid-season, and while he's had some ups and downs, he's been solid when it counts. But the real wild card here? Yoshinobu Yamamoto. This guy was a revelation for the Dodgers after they scooped him up from Japan's NPB. He's got a 5-pitch arsenal that's been fooling hitters all season long. He finished with a 3.0 ERA and went 7-2 on the year. If Yamamoto is on, the Mets might find themselves walking back to the dugout scratching their heads. It's looking like Yamamoto could get the call in Game 4. For the Mets, their ace is Kodai Senga, who has one of the filthiest pitches in the game with his ghost forkball. Senga's postseason strikeout rate of 45% is flat out ridiculous. The only one problem is that Kodai has been injured, but will be getting the ball in Game 1. This is a real wrinkle in all the plans. Will Kodai be ready and throw some fastballs that drop off the table? Can he go deep into the game and go past the 2 innings he pitched last series? Time will tell, and the Mets season may be hanging on that question alone. Alright, let's talk about the X factors. Those players who could be the key difference makers in this series. For the Dodgers, it's Freddie Freeman. He's been battling through an ankle injury that's been nagging him all postseason long, and while Freddie is as tough as they come, it's still worth watching how much that ankle affects him. Freeman finished the 2024 season with 22 home runs and 89 RBIs, but if his ankle limits his mobility or power, it could change the dynamics of LA's lineup. On the flip side, if he's healthy enough to swing freely, he could still be one of the most dangerous hitters in this series. For the Mets, it's JD Martinez who needs to step up. He's the designated hitter the Mets have been leaning on, and in a series where every run will matter, JD's bat has to come alive. Martinez might not have had the flashiest season with 16 home runs and 69 RBIs, but in October, it's all about those timely hits. If JD can bring that postseason magic and drive in key runs, the Mets might just pull off the upset. Alright, baseball lovers, here's what you should be on the lookout for. Game 1 at Dodger Stadium. This is where both teams will try to land that all-important first punch. Jack Flaherty versus Kodai Senga is set to be an epic duel. The first team to break through could set the tone for the entire series. The Ohtani factor. Even though Ohtani won't be pitching, every at-bat from him will be must-watch. The Mets will have to decide if they pitch around him or challenge him head-on. Good luck with that. One mistake, and you're looking at a 450-foot moonshot. Late-inning drama. Both bullpens have been tested this postseason, and we all know October baseball means one thing: clutch, late-game moments. Whether it's a walk-off hit or a dramatic save, expect the late innings to be full of drama. Watch out for potential blown saves or miraculous comebacks, especially at Citi Field, where the Mets will have the crowd on their side. Alright folks, time for the predictions. I'm calling it Dodgers in 6. Ohtani is too much of a force, and Betts is going to be a constant thorn in the Mets' side. I just don't see the Dodgers losing. That being said, if the Mets can steal one of the first 2 games and bring the series back to Queens tied, things could get very interesting. The polar bear Alonso and Lindor will need to be at their absolute best to make this a series. But hey, baseball is baseball. Anything can happen. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Will the Dodgers cruise to another World Series, or will the Mets pull off the upset of the year? Drop your predictions in the comments section. That's a wrap for today's episode of Baseball Spark. Thanks for tuning in. If you're as hyped for this series as I am, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss a second of the action. Stay tuned, stay hyped, and as always, keep the spark alive. We'll catch you in the next inning.